The Post-it note, how a failed adhesive created a billion-dollar accident. Have you ever wondered how that humble yellow square on your desk came to be? The Post-it note, that seemingly simple office supply, represents one of the most profitable failures in business history. Its creation story isn't just fascinating, it's a powerful lesson about innovation, persistence, and recognizing value in unexpected places.
Story begins in 1968 at the 3M Company's research laboratories. Spencer Silver, a chemist, was attempting to develop a super-strong adhesive for the aerospace industry. What he created instead was the exact opposite, an adhesive that stuck to surfaces but could be easily peeled off without leaving a residue or damaging the surface. By conventional standards, Silver's creation was a complete failure. It wasn't strong enough for industrial applications. It wasn't weak enough to be ignored. It was just peculiar. For 5 years, Silver presented his low-tack adhesive to colleagues at 3M, trying to find a practical use for his unusual creation. But despite his enthusiasm, nobody could envision a practical application.
The breakthrough came from an entirely unexpected direction. Arthur Fry, another 3M scientist and a church choir singer, was frustrated with the paper bookmarks in his hymnal that kept falling out during services. In a moment of inspiration, he remembered Silver's unusual adhesive and wondered if it might create bookmarks that would stick to the page but remove without damage. Fry experimented by coating paper with Silver's adhesive. The result worked perfectly. The papers stuck where placed but could be removed and repositioned without damaging the hymnal pages. But Fry quickly realized this was more than just a bookmark solution. He began using these sticky notes to leave messages on files, communicate with colleagues, and mark documents.
When Fry shared his prototype with colleagues, something remarkable happened. People started borrowing his supply and never returning them. This small behavioral clue that people found these notes so useful, they essentially stole them, signaled that they had stumbled onto something valuable. Yet even with this evidence, 3M executives weren't convinced. Market research suggested consumers wouldn't buy an expensive alternative to paper clips or staples. The product almost died in development. But in a fateful decision, 3M decided to conduct a different kind of test. They distributed free samples directly to consumers in Boise, Idaho. The response was overwhelming. 90% of those who tried the product said they would buy it.
Post-it notes finally launched nationwide in 1980, 12 years after Silver's initial failed adhesive was developed. They quickly became one of the most successful office products in history. Today, Post-it notes generate over $1 billion in annual revenue for 3M, with the average office worker using between 50 to 100 Post-it notes every month. The product has expanded into hundreds of variations, different sizes, colors, shapes, and specialized versions for various industries. What began as a laboratory mistake has become a cultural icon, even entering the Museum of Modern Art's permanent collection as an example of everyday design excellence.
The Post-it note story teaches us several profound lessons. First, innovation rarely follows a straight line. The path from Silver's failed adhesive to billion-dollar product took over a decade and required connecting seemingly unrelated problems and solutions. Second, sometimes the most valuable innovations solve problems we didn't even know we had. Before Post-it notes, nobody was asking for repositionable paper, but once they experienced it, they couldn't imagine working without it. Finally, persistence matters enormously. Had Silver abandoned his failure, or had Fry not remembered it years later, this billion-dollar product would never have existed.
So the next time you jot a quick reminder on that yellow square, remember you're holding a mistake that transformed how the world communicates, organizes information, and collaborates. Not bad for a glue that wasn't sticky enough. What everyday objects do you use that might have similar unexpected origin stories? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this tale of accidental innovation, hit that subscribe button and notification bell to catch our next video where we explore how a failed heart medication became one of the most profitable drugs in pharmaceutical history. This is TaleWeaver, where the ordinary becomes extraordinary.